Coach, some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. 15-1. 15-1. Four down.
Here's James on 1st and 10. And his first look is incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the ship.
James now throwing again. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. James from the gun, he'll throw. And able to find Kirk complete.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You ain't doing nothing today.
1st and 10 at the
5. To throw is James. Operating from the gun. Open man, Butler complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It'll be an Arizona 1st down on a gain of 17. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
For Kirk, there's a peek at the numbers in last week's game. 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
And the competition gets a little bit tougher here because he's got to go against the #1 ranked defense in the NFL against the pass, the latest incarnation of the no-fly zone.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
I got you. Cardinals 1st down. 1st and 10.
Now James on 1st down. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That pass play wound up for negative yardage. So here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line.
Double time. Hey, we got 3 downs here.
On 1st and 10, James. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Strong left.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tight. Watch it.
Here's James to throw on 3rd down. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Here we go.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Bishop. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 38-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 20-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, is working really well.
The numbers for James from last week: 3 catches, 55 yards.
And you can tell early, they're going to look his way quite a bit, and he made himself available on that one.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That is right. That is right.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
35 the mic. Check back. Man left. Mike 35. Mike 35. Watch the screen.
To throw on 3rd down, Bishop. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jesse James. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
James now from the gun on 3rd down. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. This quarterback now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. James. It's complete to Snead. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Ready. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Deep grip.
James, off play action. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take it.
Ready. Ten Lobo. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Let's go, sir.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He'll have a first down past the 40. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 38-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field to try and get up and get it.
Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Hey, watch that, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Let's go.
Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
All day, every day, any day.
Throwing on first down. Bishop. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a first down.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Your track, your track.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Touchdown for Dave.
Latavius Murray, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. He'll try to generate some more steam on offense down on the scoreboard second quarter. Not necessarily his fault, but he's always a guy they want to get extra involved.
Keep finding ways for him to get the football. Keep force-feeding him in that way. Get to the half, kind of reboot, start over again to try and erase the other things that have them down on the scoreboard.
They'll be looking for a little more juice here in the second quarter before they do hit that halftime locker room. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw is James. From the gun, he'll throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. On first down, Bishop. James has got it, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
From the gun, Bishop. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Showtime, partner. What a great one-handed catch. How much of that was him? How much of that were the gloves?
Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 3. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now James, operating from the gun. Open man, completes it to Butler. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That goes for 14 yards, 1st down Cardinals.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw. James. Oh, he's going to go for it all. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So here are the Saints to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike 35, Mike 35. Watch this.
On 3rd down, Bishop. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, Cook. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Back to throw. James. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Here we go.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
This pass into the arms of Snead. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Back to the ground, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Man up, D. Man up, D.
Here's James on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a 3rd missed field goal now in the game. All the more surprising when you take into account, Charles, he's kicking indoors.
Indoors. Exactly. That's where I was going with that. In theory, conditions are ideal. I don't know quite what went wrong here, but it's something he's going to need to correct, and in a hurry.
But they'll start the drive here with an end around. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Right there. 54, Mike. Push him back. Push him back.
On 2nd down, Kamara. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
34. Who that? Who that?
From the gun on 3rd down. Bishop out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of the team because as they drove downfield, You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Mike's by 4. Watch the run. Watch the run.
To throw on second down, Bishop drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And sometimes you have to serve as your own blitz control. And what I mean by that is there are going to be times when guys come free and are going to hit you when you're trying to throw the ball. He stood in there and took it and still completed it for a first down.
Well, yes, running back had vacated the area there, but able to complete it to him, still make a gain out of it.
I guess that's what we call a safety valve, and it worked pretty well.
Go, go. We got it. We got it. Echo.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. First and 15.
We don't want this.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. The 20. A big play there out of Kamara. 45 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you will too.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Second and 1. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 1-yard touchdown pass as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. James now to throw again. Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Now this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, but it's going to be second down. Back to the air on second down. Bishop. He gets this one to Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This quarterback now, still just the one incompletion, 16 of 17. It's first down.
Mike 35, Mike 35. I'm trying to collect.
Operating from the gun, Bishop. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Check Mike. Bravo. 35's the Mike. Got to do better. Come on, QB.
On first and 10, Bishop. He'll let this go for the end zone. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown, Saints. Traquan Smith, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
Know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's something out there. We've got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle,
and he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Toss play, Kamara. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
35's the Mike. Hey, let's get in them holes. Mike 35, Mike 35. You better be afraid of me. You better.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking long for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Move. 4 down. Alert.
To throw again. Bishop. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
35's the Mike. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike 35, Mike.
2nd and 5. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 46 yards. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put the